can help you measure and improve your customers' experiences and show how well you're complying with Amazon's selling policies. In this video, we'll provide an overview of one of these metrics, the order defect rate, or ODR. We'll also share tips for maintaining a healthy ODR. To view your account health page, select the menu icon in the top left corner of Seller Central. Hover over Performance and select Account Health. Your overall account health is determined by 3 factors: customer service performance, policy performance, and shipping performance. When you maintain your performance targets across each of these factors, you help create a great customer experience. The Customer Service Performance section of your Account Health dashboard helps you measure how satisfied your customers are with the products and service you provide. This metric is determined by your account's ODR. An order has a defect if it results in negative feedback, an approved A to Z guarantee claim, or a credit card chargeback claim. Customer feedback is a key part of the Amazon experience and is considered negative if the customer leaves a product review of 2 stars or less. Feedback can help you quickly identify and address a problem with a product listing before your business is negatively impacted. An A to Z guarantee claim allows customers to ask Amazon to investigate a dispute related to an order. They can submit a claim if they feel you haven't properly addressed their negative experience according to your or Amazon's policies. A to Z guarantee claims help us regain valuable customer trust when the condition of a product or the timing of its delivery didn't meet expectations. To help prevent both negative feedback and A to Z guarantee claims, accurately represent your products using clear images and descriptions. Clearly describe the condition of your products. Confirm shipments in Seller Central before you reach the order's expected shipping date, and aim to confirm them as soon as you ship an order. Cancel out-of-stock orders and contact customers to let them know you can't fulfill their orders. And respond to customers' messages within 24 hours. Do your best to resolve any issues. The last factor that impacts your ODR is the number of credit card chargeback claims or chargebacks you receive. Chargebacks occur when the customer's order amount is refunded to their credit card due to a dispute or return. To help avoid chargebacks, fulfill orders with care by using adequate packaging and trackable shipping methods. For more information on chargebacks and how to respond to them, search for and review the Chargebacks Help page in Seller Central. To avoid restrictions on your seller-fulfilled offers, maintain an ODR of less than 1% of your total orders during a given 60-day period. For example, if you received 300 orders over the past 60 days, you should aim to receive less than 3 1- or 2-star ratings, A to Z guarantee claims, or chargeback claims. We recommend checking your ODR and overall account health performance at least once a week. For more information, search Order Defect Rate in Seller Central, or select Order Defect Rate on your account health page. You now have the tools to help you maintain an ODR that meets Amazon's targets. Thank you, and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to our training on the Late Shipment Rate, or LSR. Today we'll cover what the LSR is and how it affects sellers in the Amazon store. Let's start by defining LSR. LSR measures the percentage of orders where shipment confirmation occurs after the expected ship date. You can find the expected ship date in order details. It's important to note that LSR only applies to seller-fulfilled orders, also known as merchant-fulfilled, or MFN. To calculate your LSR, your total orders are divided by those that were ship confirmed late. So if you've had 100 orders in the last 10 days and 2 of them were shipped after the expected ship date, you'll have an LSR of 2%. Sellers must maintain an LSR under 4% to continue selling in the Amazon store. An LSR over 4% can result in account deactivation. To view your LSR, head to the Performance tab in Seller Central and select Account Health. In the Shipping Performance section, select Late Shipment Rate. On this page, you'll see your LSR calculated for the last 10 and 30 days. It's important to confirm orders by their expected ship dates so your customers can see their order status online. Confirming late can lead to negative customer experiences, increased claims, negative feedback, and customer contacts. If your LSR is in jeopardy, you may be notified and given 30 days to remedy the situation. If you do not take action, you could risk account deactivation. Now let's review some top tips for improving and maintaining your LSR. First, be sure you only list items you're able to ship by or before their expected ship date. Next, work with your carriers to ensure they will be able to pick up your packages and scan them on time. Finally, ensure you confirm shipments with valid tracking information as soon as you hand over packages to the carrier. It's also possible that your business has grown during your time in the Amazon store to the point where you need to hire more staff to stay on top of orders. Create a daily reminder to check for and prepare orders. Making this a part of your daily routine can help you always ship on time. You can also use Amazon's Buy Shipping services to simplify the shipping process and remove your need to confirm shipping. To learn more about Amazon Buy Shipping services, search for Buy Shipping in Seller University. Preparing for increased order volume during key sales periods like the run-up to holiday seasons can help you maintain a healthy LSR. Finally, always check your account health dashboard regularly for notifications. This concludes our training on the late shipment rate. Thank you, and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to our training on the cancellation rate. Today we'll cover what this policy is and how it affects you as a seller in the Amazon store. Cancellations are a normal part of almost every sales operation and happen for a variety of reasons. Your cancellation rate measures all seller-canceled orders as a percentage of your total orders during a 7-day time period. This includes only the order and item cancellations that you initiate. Pending orders or items canceled by your customer directly on Amazon do not count towards your cancellation rate. To view your cancellation rate, head to the Performance tab in Seller Central and select Account Health. In the Shipping Performance section, select Pre-Fulfillment Cancel Rate. Here, you'll see your cancellation rate for the past 7 days. To maintain an active selling account, you'll need to keep your cancellation rate under 2.5%, as higher rates can result in deactivation. This metric affects your access to other features, like premium shipping. To access premium shipping, your cancellation rate must be under 0.5%. Now, let's discuss the different types of cancellations in the Amazon store and how they can affect you. If a buyer raises a standard cancellation request, it won't negatively impact your cancellation rate. However, if the buyer raises a non-standard cancellation request for reasons related to your listing or offer, your cancellation rate could be negatively impacted. If you, as the seller, raise a cancellation request, it will negatively impact your cancellation rate. Whether you cancel due to an out-of-stock item, an undeliverable address, or an unresponsive buyer, self-canceling an order will have a negative impact on your cancellation rate and account health. Out-of-stock items are the most common reason for sellers to cancel orders. While we understand that stockouts happen, we expect sellers to minimize these issues. Let's explore some tips for maintaining and improving your cancellation rate. First, only list items in your possession. Listing items you don't have on hand can cause cancellations, as you may not be able to fulfill the order in time. You should also keep an eye on your stock levels, especially if you sell in multiple channels. Canceling an order when a product is out of stock can often lead to negative feedback. To help, you can increase the frequency of your inventory updates from monthly to weekly or weekly to daily, for example. Be sure to dedicate inventory specifically for Amazon listings. Selling in multiple stores can get complicated, so dedicating inventory specifically to your Amazon listings can help avoid stock issues and cancellations. Finally, be sure to keep pricing accurate at all times. Canceling an order due to an accidentally low price can result in negative feedback and hurt your cancellation rate. So what should you do if the buyer's provided address is undeliverable? If you haven't shipped the order yet, you can contact the buyer through buyer-seller messages. You can request they cancel the order and place a new one with the correct or updated address. Or, what if you need more details to fulfill the order and the buyer is unresponsive? If you haven't shipped the order yet, you can cancel the order and contact the Amazon Seller Support Team to explain why the order was canceled. This concludes our training on the cancellation rate. Thank you, and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to the video on creating an effective plan of action. If your account or listings are deactivated, specific actions may be needed to bring your product listing or account in compliance with Amazon policies. Please refer to instructions in the relevant performance notifications and account health section in Seller Central to find specific enforcement-related actions and potential next steps. For an account deactivation, submit an appeal by locating the specific notification in the Performance Notifications section. For listing level violations, submit an appeal in Account Health under the Performance tab. Please make sure to log into the marketplace, example US or Canada or Mexico, where the deactivation or violation occurred to submit an appeal. A plan of action, or a POA, gives Amazon confidence that you will address the identified issue and help us make a reinstatement decision on your account or listing by considering a holistic perspective of your specific situation. First, let's dive into a plan of action, which typically includes the following 3 elements. Identify the root cause of the issue or identify the problem that led to the account deactivation or policy violation. Explain the actions you have already taken to resolve the issue for your customers. Provide a solution so the issue will not happen again in the future. Do's of a plan of action. 1. Be clear and concise. Your plan of action should be factual and direct. Focus on the facts and events that caused the issue. 2. Provide an explanation for all issues. Some deactivations can be the result of a combination of issues. For example, a high order defect rate can arise from negative feedback and undelivered orders. You must provide a response for each root cause in your plan of action. 3. Include supporting evidence for all items. Make sure you submit supporting evidence for all of the products or ASINs that are under review. You can find the list of products at the bottom of your original notification. Make sure to check the time frame requested for the documents, as some require invoices from the last 365 days. 4. Highlight areas in your supporting documents. You can make your response more relevant by circling or highlighting the areas within your documents that are most important, such as ASINs, supplier details, for example name and supplier website, or clauses within your terms and conditions. Don'ts of a plan of action. 1. Don't recycle an old POA or resubmit a previous appeal if your account or listing is deactivated for the same reason. Try to understand if the root cause has changed or consider implementing alternative solutions. Only submit a POA that addresses the issues for the current enforcement. 2. Don't have your account manager or an outside agency write a POA on your behalf. You will address the issue. You are best positioned to understand your business and identify solutions. 3. You do not need to provide an introduction of your product, business, or customer. 4. It is ideal to not include questions or references to ongoing support cases in your submission. 5. Emotive language should not be used. Focus on the facts and how you plan to address the issues. 6. Don't focus on what happened in the past or provide short-term or reactive solutions to the issues. Understand what went wrong and use that information to identify solutions to prevent the same issue from happening again in the future. 7. It is not recommended to list all possible solutions and things you will do in the future. A POA should be specific and highlight steps you have already taken to address the issue. Here is a summary of all do's and don'ts we discussed. Sometimes you may be required to send supporting documentation along with your plan of action. For example, invoices or other supply chain documentation may be requested for certain policy violations or customer complaints. You should always keep invoices and any other relevant records for all of your products sold on Amazon. Invoices must be clearly identifiable and must include the details, like your name and address, supplier's name, address, and phone number. It can be beneficial to add supplier information within the appeal in order to help investigators verify the distributor's supplier credibility. Include details like issue date, invoice number, quantity of inventory, product names, ASIN. If the ASIN in question is not clearly identifiable from the invoice line description, you can highlight the line item for the ASIN that is under review and rescan the invoice to submit. This will help eliminate confusion and expedite the review process. Make sure that image quality of all documents are clear, not grainy, not cut off, and all your information matches the information you have entered in Seller Central. You may obscure pricing information, and you are encouraged to highlight the item under review. If your invoice does not meet these requirements, please tell us when you submit your appeal and explain why you are not able to supply an invoice in the required format. We will consider this information during the review process. This wraps up our video on creating an effective plan of action. Thank you, and happy selling on Amazon! Welcome to our training on Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy compliance. The tips we'll share in this video don't take the place of legal advice, so remember to consult a lawyer if you have any specific anti-counterfeiting or intellectual property questions. When you list products in the Amazon store, you'll need to comply with all applicable laws and Amazon policies. One of these policies is the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy, which helps ensure that all products in the Amazon store are authentic. When you sell in the Amazon store, you agree that all of your products are authentic. Some examples of inauthentic or counterfeit products include bootlegs, fakes, pirated copies of products or content, products that have been illegally replicated, reproduced, or manufactured, and products that infringe on another party's intellectual property rights. To help avoid selling counterfeit and inauthentic products, we recommend sourcing your products from a reliable supplier and verifying that they're authentic before you list them. In certain cases, an Amazon selling partner will list an authentic product, but customers or other sellers might think it's inauthentic. To help avoid this misunderstanding, we recommend listing and shipping products in the manufacturer's original packaging and refraining from altering or removing the brand's packaging, which contains important product information. Let's review an example of a product listing that doesn't comply with our anti-counterfeiting policy. A seller lists a handbag in the Amazon store. On its product detail page, the seller notes that the handbag is from brand ABC. A customer sees the product listing, notices the brand name product's low price, and makes a purchase. When the handbag arrives, the customer discovers that the handbag isn't one of the brand's authentic products and contacts Amazon. In this example, the seller has violated the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy. Sellers who don't comply with this or other selling policies may experience the following: the listings that are in violation may be suspended. Their funds may be withheld in accordance with applicable laws or Amazon's funds withholding policy. Their FBA product inventory may be removed or disposed of in accordance with applicable laws or Amazon's Business Solutions Agreement. And their selling account may be either suspended or deactivated. When you and other sellers comply with the anti-counterfeiting policy, you help ensure customers can trust the products they buy in the Amazon store. To review the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy, search for Anti-Counterfeiting Policy in Seller Central. This concludes our training on how to comply with the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to our training on how to respond to an Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy violation. The tips we'll share in this video don't take the place of legal advice, so remember to consult a lawyer if you have any specific anti-counterfeiting questions. When you list products in the Amazon store, you'll need to comply with all applicable laws and Amazon policies. One of these policies is the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy, which helps ensure that all products offered for sale in the Amazon store are authentic. If we believe your account has violated the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy, we'll send you an authenticity-related violation. To review this and other performance notifications, select the menu icon in the top left corner of Seller Central. Hover over Performance and select Performance Notifications. You can also review performance information on your Account Health page. To get there, hover over Performance, select Account Health, and click Product Authenticity Customer Complaints. If we notify you of a violation, you should correct the behavior described in the notification. If you don't believe that you violated the anti-counterfeiting policy, submit an appeal as soon as possible. When you submit an appeal for an anti-counterfeiting policy violation, you'll need to submit copies of invoices from your suppliers. We'll use the documents you provide to verify the authenticity of your products. These invoices must include a clearly displayed issue date within the past 365 days and before you received the performance notification. Your sales volume for each ASIN over the past 365 days, each of the requested ASINs with all highlighted for clarity, and the contact information of your supplier, including a name, phone number, address, and website. We won't share this information with our retail team or other Amazon sellers. Any documents you provide must be authentic and unaltered. In other words, we won't be able to accept invoices that have been digitally manipulated. You can remove pricing information from the invoices, but make sure that all other information is visible and clear. Once you've gathered your invoices, return to the Account Health page. Select Product Authenticity Customer Complaints and click Appeal next to the policy violation. Here, you'll submit the requested documents by clicking the Select Files button or dragging and dropping the files into the available field. Select the checkboxes next to each requirement to confirm your documents meet them, and then click Submit. Once you've submitted the appeal, we'll review your provided documents. We might reach out to the supplier to verify your documents' information, and we'll always keep your supplier's information confidential. If your appeal is approved, we'll reinstate your listing. To review the Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy, search Anti-Counterfeiting Policy in Seller Central. This concludes our training on how to respond to an Amazon anti-counterfeiting policy violation. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to our training on Amazon's product detail page policy compliance. When you sell in the Amazon store, you must comply with all applicable laws and Amazon policies. The product detail page policies are in place to ensure that customers have a clear and consistent buying experience. They also ensure that only one unique product is on a single product detail page. The product detail page policies require that all sellers comply with store-style guides, accurately describe and categorize products, make sure that variations are only added to the product when appropriate, Create new detail pages for new products or versions. They also require that sellers don't duplicate a product detail page where one already exists for a product, don't include inappropriate content, links, contact information, requests for reviews, or any advertising on their product detail pages, and don't add details that infringe upon the IP rights of any third party. Our policies also do not allow for the incorrect modification of detail pages. We only allow detail page updates that improve the detail page. This includes improving the accuracy of the content or making the content grammatically correct. Accordingly, we consider a detail page to be incorrectly modified when, as a result of changes to a listing, the product is no longer accurately described or is described less accurately than it was before the change. As an example, let's consider any company trading who aren't in compliance with the product detail page policy. Any company trading lists a branded handbag in the Amazon store. While they don't own the brand, they have appropriate documentation to sell this branded bag. Once listed, any company trading returns to their listing. Hoping to promote their name to customers, they update the detail page to include their own name, any company trading, in the ASIN title, as well as in the product description. Any company trading is not in compliance with Amazon's detail page policy, as they change the information on the product's detail page, making the branded handbag's title and description inaccurate. It's important to remember that failure to comply with any of Amazon's policies may impact your ability to sell in the Amazon store. You can review our product detail page policies by going to Seller Central's homepage and typing Product Detail Page Rules into the search field. Note that the information contained in this module doesn't constitute legal advice, and you should consult a lawyer to ensure that you have appropriate checks and procedures in place. This concludes our training on Amazon's product detail page policy compliance. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store. Maintaining your seller account health is important to successfully selling on Amazon. The health of your selling account depends on performance metrics and policy compliance, which we will cover later in this video. To track your account health, refer to the Account Health section under the Performance tab in Seller Central. This will show if you have any listing violations, listings that have been deactivated, listings that are at risk of deactivation, and also account-level actions taken. In this video, we will provide an overview of what account deactivation and listing level violations are, why Amazon takes these actions, and how you should address them. Account and listing level deactivations are used to help create a trustworthy shopping experience on Amazon. They help protect customers, brands, and our selling partners from fraud and abuse. Account or listing level deactivations are usually a temporary action that limit your ability to sell on Amazon. These actions are taken when Amazon identifies one or more policy violations. If an account or listing deactivation or listing level violation is not addressed, it may lead to permanent deactivation of your selling privileges on Amazon. To avoid account deactivation or listing level violation from happening, you should ensure that you are adhering to selling practices in accordance with Amazon's policies and business solutions agreement. In addition, you should closely monitor your account health in Seller Central. You can find relevant performance metrics and notifications for account deactivations and listing level violations under the Performance tab in Seller Central in the Account Health section. The Account Health section shows performance metrics and listing level violations. You are expected to monitor your performance metrics and appeal any listing level or account violations that appear in the Account Health. If these are not successfully appealed, your account may be deactivated in accordance with your performance metric targets. Account Health is divided into 3 sections: Customer Service Performance, Product Policy Compliance, and Shipping Performance. Customer Service Performance. This consists of Order Defect Rate, ODR, and Invoice Defect Rate, IDR. Let's dive into each one of them. Order defect rate is a key measure of your ability to provide a good customer experience. It includes all orders with one or more defects represented as a percentage of total orders during a given 60-day time period. The following are the three types of order defect rate: negative feedback rate, A to Z guarantee claim rate, and credit card chargeback rate. This issue most often stems from a buyer who didn't receive an order, or the product the buyer ordered is damaged when it was delivered. You can download the report to view specific violations if you have an account level or listing level violation due to a high order defect rate, ODR. Viewing this report may help you create a plan of action for reinstatement, which will be explained in detail in creating an effective POA video. The invoice defect rate, IDR, is all orders from Amazon business customers for which an invoice was not uploaded within 1 business day after shipment as a percentage of total orders from Amazon business customers. Amazon business customers expect invoices for tax and accounting purposes. In order to provide invoices to customers, you may activate the VAT calculation service within Seller Central and let Amazon issue invoices on their behalf at no cost. Recommended. Alternatively, invoices can be uploaded automatically via a third-party solution provider or manually via the Manage Orders page. We recommend that sellers maintain an invoice defect rate under 5% in order to provide a good customer experience. However, there is no penalty for not meeting the performance target at this time. Product Policy Compliance. This page in the Account Health tab contains all listing level violations. It is important that you appeal all violations through this portal on the Next Steps column. Listing level actions may be taken due to third-party violations, including intellectual property rights owners, buyers, and Amazon. The Product Policy Compliance page tracks the following violations: suspected intellectual property violations, received intellectual property violations, product authenticity customer violations, product condition customer violations, product safety customer violations, listing policy violations, restricted product policy violations, customer product reviews policy violations. Shipping performance. This measures your late shipment rate. The target is under 4%. Cancel rate before fulfillment and target is under 2.5%. And valid tracking rate and target is over 95%. If your late shipment rate or cancel rate are out of target, your selling account may be deactivated. The Performance Notifications tab shows all of the account deactivation and listing level violation messaging, including your appeals and Amazon's replies to your appeals. It is important to understand what caused your account deactivation or listing level violation and what is needed to move forward. Carefully read your account deactivation or listing level violation notification to understand the reason and determine the root cause of the issue. When appealing, be sure to provide all the information and documentation requested in the performance notification. For some account deactivation or listing level violations, you may need to provide documentation verifying your identity, business documents, or invoices. It is important to ensure that you have correctly entered your business name and address in the Account Information tab under Settings. This helps in the verification of your identity, and this process also helps you navigate the appeal process more easily. If you operate multiple businesses, you may enter multiple addresses and business names accordingly. The notification informing you that your listing or account has been deactivated will include 2 parts: why the listing or account is deactivated, including the reason for deactivation, what is needed to appeal. Most often, you need to send a plan of action that explains the root cause, the actions you've taken to resolve the issue, and what you've done to ensure this issue won't happen in the future. We hope this video was helpful. Thank you, and happy selling on Amazon. Welcome to our training on Amazon's variation policy. When you sell in the Amazon store, you must comply with all applicable laws and Amazon policies. You can find our variation policy by going to Seller Central's homepage and typing ASIN creation policy into the search field. On the ASIN Creation Policy page, scroll down until you see the Variation Policy. Product variations are sets of products that are related to one another by an attribute such as size, color, or flavor. These products can be grouped together on one detail page. A product variation relationship is often called a parent-child relationship. We have certain criteria that must be met for a product to be variation eligible. All products in the variation relationship must be fundamentally the same. For example, the same shirt but in a different color. Vary in only a few specific ways, such as color and size, be expected to be found on a single product detail page, and be able to share the same title. We consider the following examples to violate our variation policy. Changing the child products detail page so it doesn't match the parent product listed. Changing the parent products detail page so it no longer matches the child product listed. And adding a multi-pack as a variation when the multi-pack was not created by the manufacturer. Failure to comply with Amazon's variation policy may result in account deactivation. Let's take a look at any company's listing. Any company listed a cell phone charging cable and a portable charger as variations of the same listing. Any company isn't complying with the variation policy because even though the products are related, they shouldn't be listed on the same detail page. As a reminder, more information on our variation policy can be found on the Amazon ASIN Creation Policy Help page. This concludes the variation policy training. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to our training on how to respond to a product variation performance notification. When listing products in the Amazon store, you must comply with all applicable laws and Amazon policies. Product variation performance notifications indicate your account has violated one or more Amazon variation policies. Please be aware that it's a violation of Amazon policy to open a new account if you have an active violation on an existing account. If you receive a performance notification, immediately correct the behavior described in the notification. If you want to submit an appeal, you should submit this as soon as possible. If your account has been deactivated because of a variation policy violation, you'll be asked for a plan of action. Search for Plan of Action in the search field on Seller Central or Seller University to find out more information. Once you've gathered all the information needed for your plan of action, sign into your Seller Central account. Hover over the Performance tab and choose Performance Notifications. Click on the Performance notification. Make sure you read all of the information in the notification carefully. Click Appeal next to the notification. You'll be taken to the Reactivate Your Account page. You can also get to this page if you click the Reactivate Your Account button in the top right corner of the Account Health dashboard. On the Reactivate Your Account page, enter the root cause of the variation issue, the actions you've taken to resolve the issue, and the steps you've taken to prevent the issue from occurring again. Then click Next. You may upload supplemental information if you would like, but it's not required. Finally, click Submit. If you believe you've received a variation performance notification in error, scroll to the bottom of the Account Reactivation page. Click the Please Provide an Explanation Here link. In the text box that appears, provide an explanation of why your account shouldn't be deactivated and click Next. You may upload supplemental information if you would like, but it's not required. Finally, click Submit. If your appeal is successful, your account will be reactivated. Remember that you can view the product variation policy by going to the Seller Central homepage. Type ASIN Creation Policy in the search field. Scroll down the ASIN Creation Policy page until you see the variation policy. This concludes the training on how to respond to a product variation performance notification. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to the video on understanding Amazon's multiple selling accounts policies. This video covers the following topics. 1. Overview of multiple selling accounts policies. 2. When does Amazon take action? The content in this video applies to all Amazon stores. Let us first discuss the multiple selling account policies. Sellers are considered to have multiple or related accounts when they own, operate, are involved with, or have access to more than one Amazon selling account. Sellers who have a legitimate business need to operate multiple selling accounts can do so. Sellers are not currently required to request approval from Amazon to open a subsequent selling account. If you do operate multiple accounts, either in the same or different regions, please ensure that you maintain all accounts in good standing. If any one of your accounts is deactivated for violating policy, Amazon may deactivate the other accounts you own. While Amazon recommends that all sellers transact through one account whenever possible, here are some examples of legitimate business needs. 1. A seller who owns multiple brands with different storefront names may maintain a separate selling account for each brand for ease of store brand maintenance. For example, a seller may sell brand X on one account and then wants to sell brand Y. If the seller needs to, they can open a new account to do so. 2. A seller who is selling products manufactured by two distinct and separate companies. For example, a seller is selling products from company X, and now they want to start selling products from company Y. They can open a new account to do so. 3. An Amazon program requires you to maintain separate accounts, such as the Amazon Renewed program. Let us now understand when does Amazon take action. All selling accounts that a seller owns must comply with the applicable selling policies and seller code of conduct. Violating Amazon selling policies and seller code of conduct, or any other Amazon policies, may result in actions against your accounts such as cancellation of listings, suspension or forfeiture of payments, and account deactivation. To understand what each of the points under the code of conduct mean, visit the respective page related to your regional Amazon store. If one of your selling accounts violates an Amazon policy and is deactivated, all accounts that you own or operate may also be deactivated. You will receive a notification about your related accounts violation. Use case number 1. You own two accounts for selling on Amazon, Seller Storefront 1 and Seller Storefront 2. Seller Storefront 1 receives a warning notice for manipulating your sales rank. There will be no immediate impact at this point to your Seller Storefront 2 account, but you should heed the warning on your Seller Storefront 1 account in order to avoid future impact to both Seller Storefront 1 and Seller Storefront 2 accounts. Use case number 2. Seller Storefront 1 receives an account deactivation notice for manipulating your sales rank. Your Seller Storefront 2 account will be deactivated because it is related to Seller Storefront 1. Seller Storefront 1 will need to be reactivated before your Seller Storefront 2 account can be reactivated as well. There are other topics related to Amazon's multiple selling accounts policies you should be aware of, including how to respond to a violation notice and best practices to remain compliant. Continue your learning with the video that discusses about addressing Amazon's multiple accounts policy violations. Thank you and happy selling on Amazon. Welcome to the video on addressing Amazon's multiple accounts policy violations. This video covers the following topics. 1. What can you do to address violations? 2. Best practices to remain compliant. The content in this video applies to all stores. Let us first understand how you can respond to a violation notice. If you receive a notification that a related account has been deactivated, this means that one of your existing accounts violated Amazon's policies. In order to reactivate your related account, you must first address the violation in the underlying account that was responsible for the policy violations by submitting an appeal for each violation. You can appeal by signing into the account that was responsible for the policy violations. You must appeal in each regional Amazon store in which the account has been deactivated for the policy violation. You can submit your appeal by accessing your account health dashboard. If your appeal for the underlying account that was responsible for the policy violations is accepted and the account is successfully reactivated, you can then appeal your related account. When submitting the appeal, you will need to provide us with the storefront name of the original account that was reactivated and the date of reactivation. Use case number 1. You own two selling accounts, Seller Storefront 1 and Seller Storefront 2. Seller Storefront 1 receives a deactivation notice for directing customers to an external site, circumventing the sales process. You then receive a deactivation notice on Seller Storefront 2 since it is related to Seller Storefront 1. You should log into your Seller Storefront 1 account and appeal the violation. If your appeal is accepted and the Seller Storefront 1 account is successfully reactivated, then log into your Seller Storefront 2 account and appeal through the Account Health dashboard by providing the storefront name of the original account that was reactivated and the date of reactivation. If you believe the related account deactivation happened in error, or you have never owned or operated another account, please submit an appeal through the Account Health dashboard and confirm that the account is not related to yours. If we do not receive evidence confirming the account is not related to you, the account will not be reinstated. If you previously co-owned or co-operated the underlying account with a former business partner, you would need to provide supporting documentation, such as a contract showing separation of the business relationship, as part of the appeal. Please note that it's against policy to buy, sell, or transfer your account to or from another seller. Let us learn about the best practices to remain compliant. Sellers who have a legitimate business reason for operating more than one account and maintain all accounts in good standing will not be at risk for a multiple accounts deactivation. Please make sure you only create additional accounts if there is a valid business reason. Examples of valid business reasons include owning separate brands with different storefront names or selling products manufactured by different companies. When you receive notices or see alerts on your Account Health dashboard or performance notifications from Amazon that indicate you are violating Amazon's selling policies, please correct the behavior and submit an appeal if applicable as soon as possible. Opening a new account instead of addressing the underlying violations within your existing accounts is a violation of Amazon's policies and will only trigger an automatic deactivation on your related accounts. All sellers are responsible for understanding and adhering to the terms and conditions set out by Amazon's Business Solutions Agreement, which is part of the registration process and includes the selling policies and seller code of conduct. All sellers are expected to maintain and keep secure their own account information and credentials. In the primary account information, sellers should not list information of any third-party services they may be using to help manage the account. However, if you have engaged a valid third-party service, we recommend listing them as a secondary user in the approved app users use. Welcome to the video on understanding Amazon's intellectual property policies. This module covers A, an overview of intellectual property (IP) policies. B, why Amazon takes action against IP infringement claims. Note that when you sell on Amazon, you must 1. Comply with all federal, state, and local laws and Amazon policies applicable to your offerings. 2. Not violate IP rights of brands and other rights owners. It is also important to note that Amazon's policy guidelines and the content in this video do not constitute legal advice. You should consult a lawyer if you have a specific question about your IP rights or the IP rights of others. Keep in mind that this module was developed specifically for sellers operating in the U.S. and provides an overview of U.S. policies. Policies in other countries would vary. Refer to the intellectual property help pages for country-specific policies. Let us first discuss what are Amazon's intellectual property (IP) policies. Amazon's IP policies comprise of 3 main categories: 1. Copyrights, 2. Trademarks, 3. Patents. 1. Copyrights. Copyrights are legal protections for original works of authorship. For example, books, paintings, videos, movies, songs, etc. Let us consider the example of ABC, who is a maker of flannel sheets and took the photos of the sheets shown here and thus owns the copyright for those images. If another seller copies these images to use on another product's detail page without permission, they would be violating ABC's copyright. Typically, federal agencies put in place laws to protect rights of creators. For example, in the United States, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA of 1998, governs online copyrighted materials. For more information on the DMCA and other copyright laws, visit the U.S. Copyright Office website at www.copyright.gov. For resources in other countries, refer to the FAQ help pages within your Seller Central account for a specific country. 2. Trademarks are legal protection for a word or words, symbol, design, or combination of the same that a company uses to identify goods and services. A logo or a brand is a good example of a trademark. A trademark essentially indicates the source of goods and services from a company and distinguishes them from offerings by another company. For example, Amazon is a trademark we use for many of our own goods and services. In our previous example, the trademark ABC appears in the brand name or byline portion of the product detail page shown here. The ABC trademark also appears in the product name portion of the product detail page. ABC flannel sheet set King Sage. Trademarks are registered in the country-specific trademark office. For example, sellers in the U.S. should register their trademarks with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, or USPTO. The USPTO also has other helpful resources at www.uspto.gov. For resources in other countries, check the FAQ page for trademarks through your Seller Central account. 3. Patents. Patents are legal protections for inventions. A patent grants the owner of the patent a right to exclude others from making, using, offering to sell, selling, or importing the invention into the United States for a specific number of years. For example, Amazon holds a design patent for the Amazon Echo speaker design. There are two key kinds of patents in the U.S., utility patents and design patents. In the U.S., patents are registered with the USPTO. Visit the website for more information and other helpful resources. For resources in other countries, check the FAQ page for patents through your Seller Central account. In addition to information available at federal agencies, you may also refer to the help pages on your Seller Central account for more information on IP policies. Next, let us discuss why does Amazon take action against IP infringement? Customers trust that they can buy with confidence on Amazon. Products offered for sale on Amazon must comply with all laws, regulations, and Amazon's policies. Amazon strives to protect the rights of intellectual property owners and to ensure that goods listed on Amazon do not infringe on any rights of the IP owner. Any violation of these policies may result in the loss of selling privileges and other legal consequences. If you believe that a product, packaging, or product detail page listed by another seller is infringing on your trademark, copyright, or patent, you may report the offer or entire product detail page to Amazon. To submit a notice of infringement, you must be a rights owner or an agent with permission from the rights owner. In order to report an infringement, you should also be logged into an Amazon account and would need to submit specific information, including specifics of the IP you believe is being infringed, nature of the infringement, product, packaging, image, text on the product detail page, etc., the list of infringing products, ASINs, URLs, etc., list of infringing sellers, supporting documentation, and your contact details. For more information on how to report a violation in different scenarios, what to include in your infringement notice, and what types of notices Amazon can and cannot accept, refer to the Intellectual Property for Rights Owners page under the Help section of your Amazon Seller Central account. Once a notice of infringement has been submitted, Amazon reviews the notice in detail before taking any action against the seller who has allegedly infringed the IP. Welcome to the video on addressing Amazon's intellectual property policy violations. This module covers A. Actions to be taken to address intellectual property violations. B. Best practices to remain compliant. Note that when you sell on Amazon, you must 1. Comply with all federal, state, and local laws and Amazon policies applicable to your offerings. 2. Not violate IP rights of brands and other rights owners. It is also important to note that Amazon's policy guidelines and the content in this video do not constitute legal advice. You should consult a lawyer if you have a specific question about your IP rights or the IP rights of others. Keep in mind that this module was developed specifically for sellers operating in the U.S. and provides an overview of U.S. policies. Policies in other countries would vary. Refer to the intellectual property help pages for country-specific policies. Let us first cover how to respond to an IP violation notice. Amazon takes any claims of infringement seriously, even for sellers that are infringing upon IP without their knowledge. You should consult a lawyer to ensure that you have appropriate checks and procedures in place to prevent IP infringement for all the products you sell. If you receive a notice of infringement, depending on the nature of the notice, you can take several actions to review, resolve, and reduce your risk of account deactivation. The Account Health tab shows the account deactivation and listing level violation messaging. From your Account Health dashboard, you will be able to submit an appeal, review pending appeals, and Amazon's replies to your appeals. Typically, infringement notices target a product offer or an ASIN for removal. If the infringement occurred only on the product detail page, you may appeal after you rectify the details on the product detail page and ensure that infringement does not happen anymore. If you believe that either the rights owner or Amazon made an error, you may dispute the claim and provide supporting documentation. The supporting documentation required depends on the nature of the notice and could include an invoice, an order ID, a letter of authorization, a licensing agreement, etc. Refer to specific instructions provided in the relevant notifications on your Account Health dashboard on Seller Central. For more information, refer to the policy pages in the Help section of your Seller Central account. Make sure to respond to individual policy level violations in a timely manner to help prevent account deactivation. If your account has been deactivated because of multiple notices of IP infringement, you will likely be required to submit a Viable Plan of Action or POA. To learn more on how to create an effective POA and addressing listing or account level deactivation, refer to additional content on Seller University or to the appropriate help pages on your Seller Central account. Next, let us discuss the best practices to remain compliant with IP policies. It is important to note that this is not legal advice and does not provide a guarantee against violations. You should consult a lawyer if you have a specific question about your IP rights or the IP rights of others. 1. Always review existing intellectual property before creating or listing a new product. 2. Compare your products to existing trademarks and patents on the local governing body's website to ensure you are in compliance. 3. Ensure your supplier has valid rights or authorization. 4. Regularly review your Account Health dashboard to be aware of any risks to your account. 5. Use your own photographs and designs for your product listings or photographs or designs for which you have received permission to use from the creator. 6. If you want to indicate the compatibility of your product with a product of a different brand, in the product title use the following title format for branded compatible products: your product's brand name plus product name plus for compatible with fits intended for plus brand of main product plus main product name plus other product title elements if applicable. For example, brand name power cord compatible with Amazon Alexa. 7. Maintain relevant records and documentations for your products, including invoices, letters of authorization, licensing agreements, and any other supply chain documents. 8. If you are not sure whether your product may be infringing, consult an attorney for help to ensure you have the right procedures in place to prevent IP infringement. 9. Appeal or dispute any listing level notices of infringement whenever possible to avoid further action on your account. This wraps up our video on addressing Amazon's intellectual property policy violations. Thank you and happy selling on Amazon! Welcome to the video on understanding Amazon's restricted products policies. Before we begin, note that this module was developed specifically for sellers operating in the U.S. and provides an overview of U.S. policies. Policies in other countries would vary. refer to the restricted product help pages that can be accessed through your country's Seller Central account. Restricted products policies are put in place to protect Amazon's customers from products that are illegal, illegally marketed, unsafe, and offensive or prohibited by Amazon's policies. These policies also give customers confidence that all products available for purchase on Amazon are compliant with local laws and regulations. Further, within the U.S. itself, there could be state-specific guidelines. For example, some products are subject to additional regulation in the state of California. Make sure to check that your listings comply with all policies for each country where you sell. Let us first understand what are Amazon's restricted product policies. Restricted products include products whose sale on Amazon is prohibited or restricted in some way due to applicable laws or regulations. These products could include those that are prohibited for sale by Amazon or selling partners, restricted in certain geographies, and products that may not be cross-listed across countries or regions due to regional regulations and restrictions. For example, parts or products from federally endangered or threatened species are prohibited for sale by law. Similarly, products that are recalled by the manufacturer or any government or regulatory agency are prohibited for sale on Amazon. Amazon has help pages on a range of restricted products. Refer to the main Restricted Products help page for links that go into each restricted product category. You can check the category applicable to your listings to understand the policy guidelines and what is restricted and permitted within each listing. There is more information, resources, and links to applicable federal regulations on these individual help pages, so make sure to visit the ones relevant to your products. In the next few minutes, we will dive deep into two key restricted products areas on pesticides and pesticide devices and offensive and controversial materials to highlight important restrictions sellers should be aware of, particularly when creating new listings. Example 1. Pesticides and pesticide devices. In the U.S., pesticides and pesticide devices must comply with the Environmental Protection Agency's Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, or FIFRA, and applicable state and local laws, including registration and labeling requirements. You may not be aware if you are selling products the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, considers as pesticides or pesticide devices, as it can be hard to identify which products qualify and why. The EPA classifies most products as pesticides or pesticide devices that are marketed to disinfect, repel insects, remove allergens, or prevent bacteria, or that make any other antiviral, antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial, or other pesticide-related claim. These claims are sometimes used in marketing a wide variety of products, including clothing, home goods, air and water filters, and lawn and garden products. EPA guidance on what is considered a pesticide or pesticide devices can be found on the EPA website shown here. Amazon's permitted listings include pesticides and pesticide devices that comply with FIFRA and all applicable state and local laws, including registration and labeling requirements. The sale of products of unregistered pesticides, example insecticide chalk, or pesticide products not intended for sale in the U.S., since they do not have an EPA registration number, are prohibited from a sale on Amazon. Further, pesticide products that make public health claims are also prohibited. For example, Amazon prohibits the sale of any product that is marketed to control or mitigate any disease, infection, or pathological condition. For more examples on prohibited listings, refer to the help page on pesticides and pesticide devices in your Seller Central portal. If a selling partner wishes to sell pesticides and pesticide devices on Amazon, you must first apply for approval to sell these products. Follow these steps listed on the help page to request for approval to sell a pesticide product on Amazon and by taking the Pesticide Seller e-learning course. Note that if you are not a U.S. resident, you are not permitted to sell pesticide products or pesticide devices on Amazon.com. Example 2. Offensive and controversial materials. Amazon aims to ensure a welcoming environment for global customers and sellers, hence values and promotes trust and respect. Amazon does not allow the sale of any products that promote, incite, or glorify hatred or intolerance. For example, the Confederate flag, including product images. These policies apply to all products except books, music, video, and DVD, which all have their own policies. Amazon also prohibits the sale of any products that depict child abuse or exploitation. For more details, refer to the help page on offensive and controversial materials in your Seller Central account. You can refer to the restricted products FAQs on the help pages of your Seller Central portal for additional. Welcome to our training Apply to Sell a Product, Category, or Brand. There are a few steps you should take before listing a product in the Amazon store. First, confirm that it's okay to sell. Make sure it's safe and complies with all laws and regulations. You should also review Amazon's restricted product and product compliance policies to verify that it isn't prohibited by Amazon and meets all product-specific requirements. Next, determine if the product requires any approvals. Although products can be listed in the Amazon store without approval, we require approval to list certain products, categories, and brands enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry. You can obtain approval for a product, category, or registered brand by completing a selling application in Seller Central. An application may include document requests, performance checks, and other qualifications. It's designed to help ensure that customers can shop with confidence in the Amazon store, knowing that products are safe and authentic. How will you know if your product requires an approval? We've built approval checks and applications right into the listing process. To list a product that's already sold in the Amazon store, hover over Inventory in the Seller Central main menu, then click Add a Product. Search for your product by using a product ID or GTIN like a UPC, ISBN, EAN, or JAN, or search using an ASIN or other ID paired with descriptive information like brand or product name. Next, locate the product you want to sell in the search results. If it requires approval, you'll see a Show Limitations link, which you can click to get a summary of listing requirements. Review the requirements, then select a product condition using the drop-down menu. You can click the Apply to Sell button and then the button on the selling application page to begin the approval process. The specific selling application you'll need to complete will depend on the product you're trying to list and the type of approval you need to secure. Let's review a selling application for a category first, then a selling application for a registered brand. On the Selling Application for Category page, start by answering any product-related questions. Then review the list of requirements for the purchase invoice you'll need to upload. Check each box after you verify that your document meets each requirement. The purchase invoice you submit needs to be dated within 180 days and include your name and address, matching the information in your selling account. It also needs to include the name and address of the product's manufacturer or distributor and show a combined purchase of at least 10 units. That means the invoice should show a paid balance for at least 10 units, demonstrating that you own the inventory. If you're omitting the pricing for individual items on your invoice, check the box to confirm. Then check the box acknowledging that we may verify your document by contacting the manufacturer or distributor it identifies. After checking each required box, upload your purchase invoice. Make sure it's a high-resolution PDF file in the correct orientation. Then provide any optional comment that might help us assess your application, along with contact information we can use to ask follow-up questions. Click the Submit button to complete the application. If you need to complete a selling application for a brand enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry, you'll follow a similar process. On the Selling Application for Brand page, start by selecting the document type you want to upload as part of your application. You may upload either a purchase invoice for products from the brand that you received from a manufacturer or distributor, or a letter directly from the brand authorizing you to sell their products. For a purchase invoice, you'll need to submit a document that meets the same requirements we reviewed for a category approval. For an authorization letter, you'll need to submit a document that is dated within 180 days and includes your name and address, matching the information in your selling account. Your letter also needs to be on the brand's letterhead and include the name and address of the brand. Make sure it's a high-resolution PDF file in the correct orientation. After uploading either document, you'll provide contact information plus any optional comments. Then click Submit to complete the application. Note that when submitting a selling application for a brand enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry, you're specifically requesting approval to match offers to the brand's existing product detail pages. This approval doesn't provide you with additional listing privileges to create or edit product detail pages for the brand, or access to brand selling benefits like stores and A+ content. Those additional privileges and benefits are reserved for sellers internal to the brand and authorized third-party resellers. If you'd like more information about requesting additional listing privileges and brand selling benefits, see our Seller University video, Request Access to Brand Selling Benefits. Now that you know how to request an approval for a product that's already sold in the Amazon store, let's review how to request approval for a new product. You'll start the process the same way, double-checking that there's no existing listing for your item. Search for the product using the Product Adding tool. If it doesn't appear in the search results, click the Create a New Listing button. During the listing creation process, you'll find out if your new product requires a category approval when you select a product type. You can search or browse product types and will see a Learn More button with a lock. Click the button to open our help page, Categories and Products that Require Approval. Then find and click the Request Approval link next to the relevant product category. This will bring you to the Selling Application for Category page, which you can complete using the same steps we reviewed earlier. You'll find out if you need to complete a selling application for a registered brand a little later in the listing creation process while entering information for the new product detail page. After entering or selecting the brand's name in the brand name field, you'll receive error 5461. You can use the link in the error message to access the Selling Application for Catalog Authorization page, which lets you request approval to list and sell the item for the brand. As part of the application, you'll provide a letter of authorization from the brand, as well as product information and images to create the new ASIN and product detail page. Note that this is the only scenario in which a seller other than the brand owner or another seller granted listing privileges for the brand can apply to create a new listing for a brand enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry. After completing a selling application for a product, category, or brand, you'll receive confirmation within 24 hours that we're reviewing your approval request. In most cases, that review process is completed within 3 business days. To monitor the status of a selling application, hover over Catalog in the Seller Central main menu and then click View Selling Applications. Once the status of an application is approved, click the List Products button to start adding products to your inventory. This concludes our training on applying to sell a product, category, or brand. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store. Welcome to our training, Request Access to Brand Selling Benefits. After a brand enrolls in Amazon Brand Registry, it has greater control over the information that appears on its product detail pages. It also has access to a suite of selling benefits designed to enhance its performance in the Amazon store. Those benefits include stores, A+ content, and sponsored brands campaigns, as well as the brand dashboard and Amazon Brand Analytics. If you're an Amazon seller who has a relationship with a registered brand, you can use one of 2 processes to request listing privileges and access to the brand's selling benefits. Sellers internal to a registered brand use an automated process in Seller Central, while third-party resellers with authorization from the brand use a manual process. Both these processes provide sellers with the privileges needed to create and update a registered brand's product detail pages. Sellers internal to a brand also receive access to a full suite of selling benefits, while authorized resellers receive a more limited set of selling benefits. Let's review both processes. Before we begin, note that requesting listing privileges and selling benefits access is different than applying to sell a brand's products in the Amazon store. That separate process is sometimes required for sellers unaffiliated with a registered brand when they want to match offers to the brand's product detail pages. If you'd like more information about completing a selling application for a registered brand, search for our training, Apply to Sell a Product, Category, or Brand in Seller University. If you're internal to a brand enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry, you can request listing privileges and selling benefits access with a few quick clicks. Start by opening the Seller Central main menu. Hover over Brands and select All Brand Benefits. Next, click the View Registered Brands button. You'll see a list of the brands you sell in the Amazon store on the Brand Benefit Eligibility page. To request listing privileges and selling benefits access for a brand, click the Identify as the Brand Owner button next to it, then the Submit Request button in the pop-up menu. If you don't have access to the Brand Benefit Eligibility page, you can still request listing privileges and selling benefits access for a brand by contacting seller support instead. After you submit a request as a seller internal to a registered brand, the original seller who enrolled the brand or another approved administrator can review your request in the Amazon Brand Registry portal. If they grant you listing privileges and selling benefits access, you'll receive email confirmation. Then you can navigate to Stores, A+ Content, and Sponsored Brands in Seller Central to start using those tools. Or navigate to the Brand section of the main menu to use tools like the Brand Dashboard, Amazon Brand Analytics, and Virtual Bundles. If you're an authorized third-party reseller for a brand enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry, you can request listing privileges and selling benefits access using a manual process. This will provide you with the same listing privileges enjoyed by sellers internal to a brand, along with access to brand selling benefits outside that brand's section. That includes Stores, A+ Content, and Sponsored Brands, as well as access to upload and manage videos on product detail pages. To request access, start by securing supporting documentation from the brand that verifies your relationship. This could be a distribution agreement or other official correspondence. Then reach out to Amazon Seller Support. When you contact Seller Support, provide the name of the brand and your supporting documentation, and confirm that you're requesting listing privileges and access to selling benefits as an authorized reseller. We'll review your request to verify eligibility and either confirm that you've been granted listing privileges and selling benefits access or ask for more information. This concludes our training on requesting selling benefit access for a brand enrolled in Amazon Brand Registry. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store.